Now, in this problem now, they're introducing us to the concept of growth rates and how it impacts, in this case, the cost of retained earnings. And the problem reads like this. It says the Bouchard Company's earnings per share was $6.50 in 2014, up from $4.42 in 2009. The company pays out 40% of its earnings as dividends, and its common stock sells for $36 a share. A part says calculate the past growth rate in earnings. Hint, this is a 5-year growth period. The B part says the last dividend was D0 was 40%, 0.40, the payout rate, times the earnings per share, $6.50, which is $2.60. It's calculate the next expected dividend, D1, assuming that the past growth rate continues. And the C part, what is Bouchard's cost of capital for retained earnings? Now again, in this A part now, they're looking for growth rate. And when we went through time value of money, I showed you this little formula and told you that you'd use this in a number of different scenarios. And we're going to use it in this case for calculating the growth rate. These are lump sum cash flows. So the growth rate is the ending value divided by the beginning value raised to the 1 over n minus 1. So the ending value, $6.50. The beginning value, $4.42. N is 5, so we're going to raise all that to the 1/5 power. Decimal equivalent of that is 0.20, 1 divided by 5. Minus 1, and we get 0.0802, or 8.02% is the annualized growth rate. Now we're going to use that growth rate to calculate D1. We know that D0 is $2.60, and we want to multiply that by 1 plus the growth rate. And so what we're going to add to 1 really is the decimal equivalent of 8.02%, which is 0.0802. So 260 times 1.0802 gets us D1, the next expected dividend, $2.81. Now, that fits into the formula for the cost of capital for retained earnings. The numerator is D1. So this is going to be $2.81 divided by P0, the price of the stock in the market, which they tell us is $36. And we're going to add all that to the growth rate. The growth rate we just calculated in the A part, 0.0802 is the decimal equivalent of 8.02%. So 281 divided by 36, add to that 0.0802, you really get 0.1582 in your calculator, the decimal equivalent of 15.82%. That's the cost of capital for retained earnings.